I don't think we've got a spokesperson for the whole group other than Bob didn't want to be, so you just go right ahead. You're next.
My name is David Miles.
And get pretty close to that mic. There you go.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not representing the society as a whole, but I'm speaking as a volunteer. The 1st of March, when you sent a letter to all of the historical organizations in the county entertaining proposals for funding, was a change from the previous mode of operation. And what my question is, with such a huge amount of money involved in terms of decreasing us by 66%, I'm wondering why this change was not phased in so we wouldn't have all in 1 year be faced with losing 66% of our funding. The other question that came to me is, over the years, as pointed out, the $1 million that has been given to the Canyon County Historical Society, I view it as an investment. And I think to cut off the organization at the knees is going to have very, very negative effect on the investment that's been made in the future, for the future. And I think that this needs to be, the 66% decrease needs to be revisited, and a plan moving forward over a shorter period of time so that we aren't completely cut down and being unable to help other organizations, which we have increased our help to other organizations over time, which has been what the county commissioners have asked. But we certainly cannot do any of that in the future with our funding at such a minimal level. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, David. Sharon Diddle is next on the list. Come on up, Sharon. Just give us your name and address.
I'm Sharon Diddle, and my address is 1463 West Verbena Drive, Meridian, Idaho. And you're probably wondering why I'm over here to speak on this.
Get a little closer. Yeah.
And you're probably wondering why I'm over here speaking on this issue. I once have sat in your position, toiling over a budget and making tough decisions. And we all recognize and acknowledge that times are tough and the economy is suffering. And in far too many cases, it appears that we live in a disposable society, a disposable world. And for these reasons, I believe as a retired school board member, as a retired librarian, and as a grandmother, that it's important that we teach our children by example the value of the things that are not disposable. And these are things that are often found in our local museums, wherever they're located. Not only the historical artifacts and implements and photographs and other items and the histories of the people that have created this country and created your community and who have sacrificed much, but to invent and create and build a better world, but for our children to be able to value the learning and educational environment that is provided by attending and going to their local museums as a family or as individuals. And then to also value the leaders like yourselves and the leaders of their state or their country who also value and show by example that they value those opportunities for education, hands-on education, by having given of their time and their resources and making a priority in their lives as volunteers and as leaders to make all of that happen for the children. Okay. Thank you for your time.
You bet. Thank you. Mr. Eller, come on up. Here's a guy that knows how to use a microphone. So
I do know how to use the microphone. My name is Gary Eller, and I've lived in the county for 8 years on the Sky Ranch Road. And for 6 years, I've had a project called the Idaho Songs Project, where I go all over the state of Idaho collecting pre-radio era songs of Idaho. And it's been a wonderful experience, and I've gotten into probably 2/3 of the museums, large and small, all over the state, and there are probably 100 of those. And I've got some experience in seeing what works and doesn't work in new and old museums. Some work well, and some don't. They're all financially stressed. And the ones that work well are the ones that have found a way to work together and not in conflict with the other historical groups around them. And the ones that fail are the ones that have not figured out how to do that. I think of one county I need not name that I work a lot in that has 4 different small historical museums. I assure you, they are all 4 failing because they're going after the same resources, and their focus is so narrow that very few people come through those doors, except for the people running the organizations. So as you're going through the discussion about how to distribute the funds, keep in mind it's easy to cause everybody to fail in the process. So the ones that work well often have a larger organization that works harmoniously with the other groups, and also they're supporting each other, because no organization, no community was created or exists in a vacuum. They're all part of a larger historical context. So I appreciate your situation. I've been on both sides of the budget negotiations with big budgets, complicated line items, and I know it's a lot more fun when budgets are growing than when they're declining. So whatever you decide to do here, please don't cause all of these organizations to fail.
Thank you very much. Larry Dawson, you're next. Okay.
I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Go ahead and get close to the microphone so it's
I'm
recorded.
not going to read the whole thing. You'd probably appreciate that.
Thank you.
I haven't been in Idaho all that long. My hometown was founded in 1653. They are very proud of their history, and I think Canyon County has every reason to be proud of its history.
Mr. Chairman, what city was that?
Huntington, New York.
Thank you.
It's out on Long Island. It, as I said, was founded in 1653, and one of the most notorious or interesting sites is a place called Hale Site, a place where Nathan Hale landed when he crossed the Sound to spy on the Brits. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Next person, Bonnie Fitzpatrick. Come on up, Bonnie. You can pull that mic down so you
I'm right here.
Okay.
My name is Bonnie Fitzpatrick. I range from Homedale, Idaho. Much of what I was going to say has been said. But what I question at this point in time is it appears that there's approximately 0.0024% actually allocated toward it looks like $37 million from the county tax. Looks like $90,000 is really a lot less than the 0.0112. But there's $700,000 that the county is finding to fund a new museum. And that's really, in so many ways, it says here on page 4, 700,000 on the new museum.
That's a grant.
That's all grant money.
Oh, so you're not funding it?
No.
So I can't give you bad time for dissing the
No.
County Historical Society by coming up with another museum that's going to also provide transportation information? I can't do that, hon.
Go right ahead.
Okay, I can still do it then. Well, then I'll go back to, are you forgetting the revenue brought into the county through this society's hosting national conventions, state meetings, and specialty events. Countywide tours have provided exposure and interest in outlying communities. Teas and historic fashion shows have provided a cultured atmosphere in a region where cowboys and sagebrush are the norm. I would ask you, go ahead and draw down your support, but if you will, recognize that this organization, Canyon County Historical Society, has been your major partner in preserving the history of this fine country, and I would ask you to work with it, not to diss it. Thank you.
Dr. Bill Watkins, come on up.
I'm Bill Watkins. I agree with the people who are talking about readjusting the budget again so that more funds go to the Nampa old train depot. I have a long history with that. In fact, I've been in Idaho for 45 years, and I wasn't going to speak until I knew we were going to be on television. But I would hope that all of the people that are interested in historical buildings and other items can share the wealth and continue to develop that in our county.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, do we have anyone else that has signed in but we don't have the sheet? Becky, is there anyone else back there? Anyone else that would like to speak? Go ahead and we'll get your name on it. We need to get his name on a list. This is the opportunity to do it. We only do this once a year. And I would just say this while he's signing in, and that is the decisions that we have to make are difficult. But know this: I've gotten several emails that said, you know, you guys didn't really take an opportunity to thank all of the people that have been volunteers. We get drawn into the budget hearings, and we wanted to make sure that everybody understood that we do appreciate the volunteers. We think the volunteers have done an incredible job. The times that each one of us spend in donating time or whatever it is that we're doing for all of these facilities, we wanted to make sure that you knew that we do appreciate what the volunteers have done, and we hope will continue to do.